Are you pouring money into marketing, offering the most competitive prices, and ensuring top-tier product quality, but your sales are still flatlining? If that sounds familiar, today, we are going to solve that exact problem. We're diving deep into the 7 primary triggers that force a consumer to make a purchase, first identified by the legendary philosopher Aristotle. These aren't just old philosophical theories. These are highly guarded, incredibly powerful psychological triggers used by the biggest corporations in the world. Today, we're going to break them down step by step, so you can apply them to your business and skyrocket your sales. Let's go into it. Number 1. Chance. The first trigger Aristotle identified is chance. In the modern marketing world, we call this impulse buying, making a purchase instantly, with absolutely zero prior planning. This strategy is so powerful that retail giants and brands like Coca-Cola make billions off of it every single year in the US. Think about it. You go to a Walmart to grab your weekly groceries. You're waiting in line at the cashier to pay. Coca-Cola was never on your shopping list, and you had zero intention of buying one. But as you stand there, you see a small, perfectly illuminated mini fridge right next to the register, stocked with ice-cold, condensation-covered bottles of Coke. Without even thinking, you reach out, grab one, and toss it onto the conveyor belt. The business lesson, that is, chance in action. Coca-Cola knows that when people are already in the buying mode at the register, they are highly susceptible to impulse buys. How can you use this? Make sure your product is highly visible, easily accessible, and strategically placed right where the customer is already making a transaction. Number 2. Nature. In marketing, we refer to this as a customer's biological needs. We're talking about natural bodily functions like hunger, thirst, or fatigue. Snickers absolutely dominated the US market by leveraging this exact theory. Snickers stopped marketing themselves as just another sweet chocolate bar. Instead, they packed their product with peanuts and caramel and rebranded it as a quick energy bar that instantly satisfies hunger. Their entire message became, "Are you hungry, tired, and cranky? Eat a Snickers. It's the fastest cure." They didn't target a sweet tooth. They targeted a basic biological need. The business lesson: stop selling your product as just an item. Position your product as the fastest, most effective cure to a customer's natural pain point, whether that's exhaustion, thirst, or discomfort. When you solve a biological urge, people stop looking at the price tag. Number 3. Compulsion. Trigger number 3 is compulsion. In the business world, we know this as scarcity and FOMO, fear of missing out. This is about psychologically forcing the customer to make a split-second decision by taking away their time to think. E-commerce giants like Amazon and Booking.com generate millions of sales per second using this theory. It's incredibly simple. Imagine you're planning a vacation and looking for a hotel on Booking.com. You find a beautiful room, but right below the price, in bold red text, it says, "Only one room left at this price. 5 other people are looking at this right now." Suddenly, you don't have time to think about it until tomorrow. The fear of someone else snatching it up forces your hand, and you pull out your credit card and book it on the spot. That is external compulsion. The business lesson: never give your customer the luxury of saying, "I'll buy it later." Introduce urgency. Whether it's "this offer expires in 24 hours, or "only 10 items left in stock," creating scarcity forces the customer to take immediate action. Number 4. Habit, which modern marketers call brand loyalty or routine. When buying something becomes a daily habit, the customer stops looking at the price, and they stop looking at the competition. The purchase becomes automatic. Starbucks makes billions in the US by banking on human habits. Picture the morning commute. A professional drives to work and hits the drive-thru at their local Starbucks. Even if that coffee costs $5 or $6, they buy it. Even if the mom and pop shop across the street sells coffee for half the price, they don't care. Buying that Starbucks coffee is an ingrained part of their daily routine. At that point, the brain isn't making a financial decision. The habit is. The business lesson. Figure out how to make your product a seamless part of your customer's daily life. Introduce loyalty cards, start a subscription model, or create an app. Once your product becomes a habit, competitors cannot steal your customers. Number 5. Reason. The fifth secret is reason, or what we call rational buying. Let's face it, Americans don't always buy based on emotion, especially when it comes to high-ticket items. Consumers use logic, weigh the pros and cons, and look at the data before spending a single dollar. Imagine someone buying a brand new Ford Mustang. They don't just see a shiny car and hand the dealer a check. First, they check the Kelley Blue Book for its resale value. Then they look at the MPG miles per gallon, calculate monthly insurance premiums, and compare APR rates for their auto loan. They are spending thousands of dollars, not just for the car, but because the logical data makes sense. The business lesson: if you are selling a premium or high-ticket product, fancy words aren't enough. Give your customers logical reasons to buy. Prove your quality, highlight your warranty, and use hard data and customer reviews to show exactly why you are better than the competition. Win the logical argument, and you win the sale. Number 6. Emotion. Welcome to emotional marketing. This is where the customer completely bypasses logic, throws the calculator away, and buys purely based on how a product makes their heart feel. Massive US brands generate sales by triggering joy, pride, love, or even fear. The ultimate example is Nike. Watch a Nike commercial. They almost never talk about the quality of their rubber soles or their stitching techniques. Instead, they show an athlete sweating, failing, and finally rising to the top. Through the words, "Just do it," they awaken a passion inside the viewer that says, "I can conquer the world too." People gladly pay $200 for those sneakers simply for the feeling they get when they put them on. The business lesson. There is a famous saying in American business: people buy with emotion and justify with logic. Speak to your customer's heart. Show them the joy, pride, or security they will feel when using your product. Trigger the right emotion, and the sales will flow automatically. Number 7. Desire. In marketing, this is known as aspirational buying. These aren't things people need to survive. People buy these things because they believe it elevates their social status. Apple built a multi-trillion-dollar empire purely on consumer desire. Think about the day a new iPhone drops. People camp out in lines overnight just to get one. Do they need a new phone? No. They usually have a perfectly working older iPhone in their pocket, but they heavily desire the social prestige, the modern look, and the way other people will look at them when they hold the newest model. Apple isn't just selling a piece of tech. They are selling a status symbol. The business lesson. Elevate your product from a mere commodity to a premium aspiration. Invest heavily in your packaging and brand image. Make your product a status symbol. If people feel proud to be seen using your brand, they will buy it regardless of the price tag. So, as a business owner, take a look at your marketing plan today and inject at least one of Aristotle's 7 triggers into your strategy. Which of these 7 triggers are you going to use for your next promotion? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you want to keep learning actionable, real-world secrets to scaling your business and driving more sales, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video.